my name is Samantha Velez, and this is my PowerPoint presentation on my informational interview. So, who did I interview and why? So, for my informational interview, I decided to interview Jacqueline Symington. She is the head of HR at Corona Gourmet, and her professional title is actually controller, so she also handles many financial aspects of the business as well. So I do want to mention before I continue, she is not in my chosen career field of forensic psychology. I did try to reach out to two separate people that are in my field. One person unfortunately did not reach back out. The other person unfortunately did not have the time, and Jacqueline I asked her if I can interview her just because she is still in a leadership position, and I feel as though I can definitely learn a lot from her, and throughout this interview I definitely have learned a lot from her, so I'm very grateful that she was able to make the time to meet with me. So, as I mentioned, as a woman who is head of HR, she has a lot of leadership qualities that I lack and can learn from, and being in her position comes with a lot of leadership responsibilities, which I've learned, and qualities I can translate to personal and career growth for myself. So, organizational profile and lessons learned. As I mentioned, she's head of HR and controller who manages and works with many of the financial aspects and responsibilities of the company. She's actually a part of a team of 6 who oversees the business and its success. They actually call themselves the 6-pack. Sorry, I had to think back to that. The 6-pack. And they have regular meetings where they go over what they've been doing and how the business is growing and its successes. So, upon speaking with Jacqueline, I've learned quite a bit on what it takes to be a woman leader and qualities that she personally possesses. So, while we all, as women, will possess similar qualities, because, we do need certain qualities to be women leaders, but we all do possess our own unique personal qualities, and I've learned a little bit about that from her. She mentions confidence a few times while we were speaking, and that's something I wanted to mention on the slides of the lessons that I've learned from her, just because confidence is something that I lack, I guess I could say, and something that I definitely need to work on. And confidence is something that she learned how to gain through her career and working within her first company, which was a startup. She did mention how confidence wasn't necessarily always an issue from her, but it's definitely something that she gained even more through her career. Being the only woman in a company that is just starting up and helping it grow is nerve-wracking, which is something that she mentioned, and she did explain that the confidence she grew in, she needed this confidence to ensure that she was being heard and they were listening to what she had to say. Being in a male-dominated job, workforce, career in general, can be difficult, and women sometimes feel like they need to do extra work to be heard, and it can definitely be hard for women to make sure that they are heard. And I think just making sure that people are listening to what you're saying does go hand in hand with confidence, and I think that's something that you definitely will gain more of through actually working in through your career. So, what I've learned about being a woman leader, as I mentioned before, I definitely learned a lot, and one of the questions I did ask Jacqueline was how she balanced work and personal life, as well as what her support system looked like. And I feel as though many women often have the same support system, which is their family, and it's something that she mentioned. So she mentioned her husband and her kids and her parents being a huge support system for her. And she also mentioned something that I don't feel many others mention, which is she is her own support system. And I think that's really important, because I think we all often overlook ourselves or we just don't support ourselves as well as others support us. And I think that's something that definitely stood out to me as we were talking, and something that I definitely wanted to mention here. So when it comes to balancing her work and personal life, she did mention some hobbies of hers, which include yoga and exercise in general. And she also gave me some great advice in saying that since I am up and coming in my career, it is something that I definitely need to look out for and pay attention to, because she did mention herself how her husband, with his job, he does go away on like business trips, so, and her kids are in college, so she sometimes will say, hey, I'll work an extra hour here, I'll work an extra hour there, it's no big deal. But it definitely can be a bigger deal than you anticipated later on. And she did mention to me how maintaining that work and personal life balance is something that's very important and that can often be overlooked. And I think having her say that to me is really just showed its importance and really put into my mind that I definitely will need to maintain that work and personal life balance that works for me. So yeah. During the interview, we also touched on the gender issues we often see in businesses. Usually as women, as I did mention before, we need to work harder and prove ourselves just because we are women. And she did mention, which I liked, how she doesn't go into a new job or anything related to her career with the mindset of, I'm an underdog because I'm a woman, which I think is incredibly important. We do need to realize that the qualities and experience that we bring to our career and our new job is the same regardless of our gender. We are going to have the same qualities and experience, and I think just really focusing on that instead of our gender is really important, and it's something that I need to definitely make note of, and something that I will make note of going forward. That I don't need to prove myself because I'm a woman. What I bring is what I bring to the table, and just because I'm a woman doesn't make it any less of a great quality or experience, I guess. So other areas I definitely want to research and I guess just learn more about is networking. And I did mention in my written paper that confidence is something that I want to learn more about. But for this slide, I definitely want to talk about networking because I am a very shy and nervous person and I'm not social at all. And just being around others that I don't know is definitely very scary for me. So I do believe that learning how to network and how to overcome the fear of networking will be extremely beneficial for myself. And I was prior to this, I was aware of the importance of networking and how it could help a woman grow in her career. I just didn't realize exactly how important it was until this class. And I think just finding different ways to network and how to approach others is something that I want to learn more about, because I know there are different ways to network and go about networking and how to put myself out there. And I definitely want to learn more about that. So leadership development. After this class, I realized there are many more areas in which I need to grow in order to become a leader. I need to be more open and willing to accept new experiences and opportunities, because that is truly one of the only ways to grow, especially within a career or my career in general. I noticed that I block myself from allowing new opportunities, and I definitely block myself from looking for new opportunities because I am someone that is scared of change, and I definitely need to learn how to embrace change and learn to be more open to learning in new ways. And this definitely comes from, I definitely did reread and look over my leadership development plan from Well to 20, and it's things that I touched upon, but throughout this class and this information interview, it's definitely things that I realized that I need to work on, and things that can help me grow. And in my original leadership development plan for Well to 20, I did mention open communication and how important it is. However, I don't think I realized until this class the true importance of open communication, and especially just advocating for myself in general. I I knew it was important. I just don't think I realized the true importance and how it can help me grow and what I can learn and how it'll help me become the leader that I want to be. So I think it definitely does come back to confidence that I lack, and I think just I can definitely learn confidence, but I do think that it's also something that I will learn as I step into my career. But overall, I do think that with this class and this informational interview, I've learned so much. And as I did mention in the beginning, Jacqueline, sorry, isn't in my chosen career field, but I do think that regardless, she is a woman in a leadership position. She has been a woman in leadership positions before, and I think that I've learned so much from her, and I knew prior to this that I would learn so much from her. It is unfortunate that I wasn't able to interview someone from my chosen career field, but I definitely did learn a lot about leadership and being a woman leader from Jacqueline. And it's definitely something that I will remember going forward and something I will look back on going forward. And she did mention that I can email her at any time with any questions, which I think is amazing, and I'm very grateful for that. So I've definitely learned a lot about myself and how I can grow to be an amazing leader and how I can grow both personally and within my career. Thank you.